Howdy, folks, and welcome to another day in the Milky Way. We have problems or not, I don't know, but that was a good one. I pressed the wrong button. Anyway, here we are with my co-host, Grandpa Brian. And thank you for coming on with me tonight.
Thank you for having me, Robert.
Absolutely. I hear that you're having a little dry weather there and your garden ain't growing so good, as mine is growing really good this year. Can you give everybody a little update on your garden? Can you give everybody a little update on your garden?
Yes, I picked about 30 tomatoes yesterday and about 20 cucumbers, some jalapenos, some Hungarian hot wax. I should be getting green beans here in about 3 to 4 weeks. But other than that, the ground's dry here and it's been hot.
Well, yeah. You said it was so hot that they canceled work for you one day. Now that's
yes,
not
Friday.
good.
The heat index is up, I think, like 110, 111 degrees. Yeah, It wasn't pretty yesterday.
Wow. Well, it wasn't so hot here. This is North Dakota. We've had a few days that it got up to 100, and even though it's 100, without that humidity, it doesn't seem so bad. And then, of course, at night it cools down and everything is good again. But the days like today, this morning started out cool, and at 1 o'clock it was still like 70 degrees. And so even if now, it heated up and everything, and it's according to the weather guy or my phone anyway, it says it's 80 degrees out now. So there you go. I mean, it wasn't a big stretch, and then tomorrow's supposed to be a little warmer, but it never gets that bad here. Of course, that makes my stuff grow, and my garden's doing pretty good. My green beans, that didn't do so good. I have not picked any tomatoes because it seems that without that hot weather, my tomatoes don't want to ripen. It takes forever. I mean, they got a lot of tomatoes on, but they're all green. It just takes them forever. And the corn is starting to go. I see it's tasseling and got a little bit of ears on it. My potatoes are huge. Of course, we don't have any potato bugs here, and so they're doing super good. And the onions are doing great. What else is doing great? The peas were doing great too. Let's see what else. The ingrown crops, I got Swiss chard. That's wonderful. The broccoli and cauliflower, not so good this year, but oh well. The cabbage grew really good. I got to start eating some of that. How about yours? Did you grow cabbage?
My cabbage, broccoli, and cauliflower, it got too hot too quick, and it basically all went to seed. I was able to harvest onion and a lot of peas. I harvested peas 2.5 months ago.
Wow. Yeah. See, you got a earlier season than we got here. I mean, it's just, I picked some peas here about a week ago, and, everything's slow. It's way behind compared to where you're at. Of course, we didn't have the season, that you do, but my ground crops are the ones that grow the best. The ingrown crops. Yeah. I did get some peppers, but they're more like a tennis ball than a softball. Put it that way.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's all good. Off the Hook says, her plants caught fire. They scorched. My aloe is still strong though. Yeah, aloe is like a desert plant anyway. And here's and of course Nina the Mystics come to join us. And
Greetings, everybody.
that's right. Tomorrow I'm going to be on Nina the Mystic with Cindy Live, and we're going to be talking about what are we talking about, Nina?
Oh, well, of course, Horns of the Goddess, which is episode 2. We started last week with first episode there, and we got a lot of views on this one. So it was obviously a good choice
Yes.
of a book.
Yes.
Yeah.
I really love this book, and I can't wait to keep doing it. I love the part where we're doing, it's like one person and the next, so it's almost like a play. You're playing
Yeah.
one part and I'm playing another, even though I have to play the girl.
Well, you know what? We'll switch that up this time. You can be Dolores now, and I'll be the other one.
I'm still playing a girl.
Well, yeah, but you won't have to do as many embarrassing things coming up. So,
It didn't seem so bad. I thought it was pretty good either way.
they're going to be talking about things in there that's, it's going to be a little out there.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you should be the other guy.
It's a good story. Like, it's not just, about pagans or whatever. It's there's a lot of like all their personal stuff in there as well. So, yeah.
Great. We're going to have a great show tomorrow night. Everybody, remember, join us tomorrow. Nina the Mystic. We're going to be on, and it's going to be great. If I can find the thing, I will put a link in the description.
I posted it in the chat there. If
you
want to
did.
go in there and just set the reminder, notify me button, hit the like, and then join us in chat tomorrow, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 Eastern.
That's great. It is going to be a super show. Of course, it's always a super show because we're doing it. Copy.
That's right.
That's right. That is right.
What are you guys doing tonight here? Where are you going? So what's this all about?
Okay, and where are you going? Who are you? And why are you going there? That's the question. Nina, who are you?
I know
that's the thing, and that's what it's all about. Who are you? And that's where we're sitting is the big question. Where are we going? Because who we are. And the big thing is what are we made of? We're made of a collection of our beliefs, and then we reflect that on the world around us, and then we create those beliefs in our everyday. The problem is they're always changing. They're not permanent. And how do you identify you? That's the thing. Most of us, I think, don't know how to identify ourselves. Who are you? Can you identify yourself?
I wish I could remember, I've asked myself that many times, and I wish I could remember who I was, But unfortunately, we all come in here with amnesia, and I guess that's the whole point of figuring things out all over again, So, yeah, I don't know.
Well, and that's the thing. No, well, not who you was in your past life. I'm talking about who you are now.
Well, we're still the same person.
Well,
I might have a different avatar now. I might have a different, status and gender or whatever, but I'm still me.
Yes, but who makes up you?
It's,
what makes you you? That's what I'm saying is how did you become yourself? How did you become you?
Probably over time, after lifetime builds character, I would think.
Yeah. Okay. That's a pretty good answer. Grandpa Brian, what makes you you?
Well, I realize I'm just a spirit here to experience what it's like to be human. I have contracts with people that I need to fulfill, karmic debt that I need to take care of. I'm a healer. I'm a sin eater. I'm many different aspects of myself.
Mm-hmm. So
So
so the conditions around you, do they shape your life, or do you shape the conditions around you to make it your life? That's that's kind of what I'm trying to figure out here. Is did you make your life? Have you, or did somebody, did your programming make your life? I mean, did you really want to do and be who you are right now, or did you end up this way because? Now these are hard questions. It was hard for me to think about this too, because I think I've been programmed my whole entire life, but and what I become, I'm now trying to become something different because I realize all that stuff I've learned through my whole entire life. I was programmed to believe in other things that I now think aren't true, and now I become somebody different. And that's what I'm saying is who did you want to become when you were young? Did you want to be where you are now, or have you changed your life and become something better?
I think I'm where I wanted to be. Uh, the construction field, I always wanted to be in nature, always outside. I'm down here at the cabin right now, out in nature, sitting out on the porch. Uh, but it's all the lessons that you learned in this lifetime that helps shape who you are.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It's um, you always have free will, and that is one thing that you know can stop you sometimes from learning a lesson that you need to learn because your free will to take you someplace else.
Mhm.
It, I don't know. It's kind of hard to explain. I mean, that's a pretty deep question.
Yeah, it is. That's what this show's all about, is that deep question, and it is. It's a hard question because that that becomes who you are. I mean, in your whole life being here, you were shaped around your beliefs, the way the world pushed you in one direction or another. And now that you're older and you're wiser, you told me when you one day you just woke up and you said, hey, and you started doing this Reiki thing, and you realized that the way you were living wasn't quite the way you imagined it at some point. Is that not right?
Well, there's a lot of things, and it could be a subconscious knowing in this lifetime. I never really took to religion, even though I
Mm-hmm.
had a religion forced upon me. When I came of age, I broke away from the religion. Uh, I never had a credit card because I couldn't see putting myself in debt. I've always paid cash for every car I've ever had. I've never had a car payment. Uh, I've never tried to buy a house because truly you never own your house because you always have to pay a tax on it. And plus, you pay all this interest, so you're actually paying for more than what the house is really worth. So I've never fallen into any of those traps of a debtor society, which a lot of people are. They have to work because they're in debt. They need to keep paying that debt off. I've lived my life debt free. And to me, it's almost been an easy life living that way, knowing that I don't have this payment to make or that payment. The only thing I have to worry about is rent and bills.
Yep. Yeah, and that's a good thing. That's a good way to if that works for you, that's the best way to do it. And like I said, see those when you were younger, those beliefs were trying to be forced on you. making you into a different person. And I think that Nina, you had that experience when you were younger. Those beliefs were forced on you, and you went into it several times and then came back out. Tell us your experience.
With Christianity.
Well, yeah, I mean, that kind of shaped you in some way, did it not?
Most definitely. I mean, I grew up in Norway, so we called ourselves Christian,
Mm-hmm.
but really we upheld a lot of our pagan stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Even the name of the week, is all named after them, and Christmas, the whole thing, everything is So it's kind of like living a double life, really, over there. You had to say, like, you were literally forced, like in the beginning, as you know, like if we didn't convert, we would get killed. And um and it's they kind of still have that same power, is that you can't get married if you haven't been baptized and then confirmated in the church. You can't get married there, and that was a big deal, obviously. For survival, even, right? You have to get married, otherwise you're doomed, especially as a woman, you
Mm-hmm.
know so and also, job opportunities. There's a lot of opportunities that you'll miss out on if you don't say that you are, and belong to some kind of church or whatever. So yeah, it's definitely. But I as an adult, I did it actually, cautiously. Went back
Mm-hmm.
into it. It was my kids. My mother-in-law had put them into a Christian summer camp, and the two of them comes back after a week of being totally marinated in Christianity for a week, like drilled morning, night, and they came back with the Bible in their hand and Jesus in their heart. So I made a choice to go back into it myself. I thought, okay, I'm going to go with this because there is a lot of community belonging. There's a lot of things that go along with the whole religion, right? So, which is appealing to people, and I think that's why they go there. You know, feel like you belong there or something. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So that's the thing. And they, they fill your head full of stuff. And
Mm,
like I just put up here, it says when you're in one of those you go to one of those things, they're basically saying choose one. Who are you going to be? Are you going to be that Christian, I believe in Jesus and all that stuff? Or are you going to be the pagan person who, goes to the devil, and everything that, we're not, and you have to choose. And all of us here have congregated because we have chosen our beliefs are different than all of those beliefs. I mean, and even if you try to go back, you just can't sometimes. It's not the same, right?
yeah, it's getting scary again out there. It's
Yep.
almost like another satanic panic is happening again now with the whole QAnon. Um, and I'm finding myself having to make some choices, and I can't speak out. I can't, like, yeah, I'm starting to get a little bit worried actually about that whole thing. Like, it's getting bad. Like, you
Yeah.
really got to be careful, and it doesn't take much, and you're from the devil, and I'm getting that kind of like a feeling that I've been there before, and I probably have. I'm sure I've been killed over this many times, past lives, and it feels like we're kind of coming to that kind of way again. And you saw how easily it was to manipulate people and how to get them to believe a certain way and rat on your neighbors and all this stuff, right? Like, how easy that was. And that was just 2 years ago or whatever it
Mm-hmm.
was. So yeah, it's
Well,
yeah.
exactly. Musgrave says, well, oh, no, I hit the wrong button. She says, Jeannie says, pagans are not satanic; they're into nature. That is so true.
That's right.
Uh, but though the
They
church
just
gives
lump us
you the
all together. That's unfortunate, and
yeah.
I'm sure there is some kind of Satanist that do all these horrible things that they are accused. I'm sure there is. I don't know anybody of them. We certainly don't do it, but we're all going to get lumped into that, and that's the thing. And it's kind of like a witch war all over again. It doesn't matter if they, just being outspoken and just being different, they're just gonna,
Mhm.
oh, you're a witch. Okay, see ya. That's what they
Mhm.
did. Like, yeah, it's
Yeah. Well, and there and see the thing is we as people we have to be accepting of everybody. That's the right thing to do. Lady Spitfire says Heather says being a full-fledged Christian got my granny through her hard time, so I can't knock it. And there's nothing wrong with that if that's what you really want to be with or do or believe in. But sometimes you have to ask yourself, it wake up and say, hey, is this the right thing for me, or am I doing it? That's the thing. If it's the right thing for you and it gets you through what you need to do, then fine, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're doing it to please others, are you what I'm trying to say, are you becoming somebody else? And that's the thing. And can you look in the mirror and ask yourself, who are you now? Am I somebody who I didn't want to be? And that's what I think that's what the whole the show part of the show is about here tonight, is that big question. And did I go somewhere and do things that I didn't? I know I did at certain points in my life, and just like you did. And now you found your place. Grandpa Brian, you did too. You woke up one day and said, hey, this don't fit me. I'm going to move on. Now, you could have moved the other way, but it's a lot harder to go back than it is to start out. You know what I'm saying? Um,
Yeah,
how did you?
once you
Oh, go
find
ahead.
out certain truths about how you've been manipulated and lied to, then it makes it hard to go back. So you have to find a direction to move forward.
Yeah, exactly. So once you wake up, once you realize what's right for you, like my sign says here, it says, hello, who are you? And you can introduce yourself to you, because that's the you want to be. And that's a good feeling if that's who you really want to be. And I know I'm right where I want to be, the things I believe in. Sometimes I get mad at others because they don't believe what I do, but then I think I have to calm myself down and say, that's the right thing for them. Yeah, I shouldn't try to force anything on somebody. My beliefs are my beliefs, and I got to be okay with letting somebody else have their beliefs. And sometimes it's a hard thing. It really is. It really, really is.
Well, the reason
Um,
why people kind of fall for all the religions, right, is we're looking for a savior. We're
mm,
still kind of looking up to the sky, wondering when they're coming back. The sky gods that made us.
yes.
And so they know that, right? So they knew how easily we would go along with this. And for some people that works. And that is the good part of religion, is that for some people, it does get them through the day. Just thinking that there's going to be something better coming or whatever. But then again, when you really start thinking about that, I like how I can't remember his name now, but he calls it a suicide cult, and really that's what it is, because you're looking for after death. You're not doing things for today. You're doing it for the brownie points that you're going to get in heaven. And that was actually one thing that kind of irked me. It's like, oh, so you're not doing this because you want to help people. You're doing this because you want to get those brownie points in heaven. That kind of peeved me off a little bit. I kind of rubbed me the wrong way when I was in there. But yeah, so it's a suicide cult, because they're waiting for death so they can then get their trophy. That's when they're going to get the reward. Not in this life. They're doing it
Yeah.
for the next. So yeah, well, people don't think of that. Obviously, I
There
didn't.
it is.
I didn't either at that time. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, this thing just doesn't want to work right. Anyway, yeah, you're totally right. Uh, I know the same thing. It was like, here, do this, and you'll get the reward for that. And then it always questioned me, and I questioned back. And the religion doesn't want you to question back. They want you to just accept, and that's fine if you're okay with that. Um,
Mhm.
you know. But there's a lot of people who can't, and you have to start questioning it. Like me, there's the guy here. He's showing. I've got the picture up. Says, "Who are you?" You have to sometimes question yourself. Uh, and if you don't do that, and you just mindlessly believe, maybe that's not the best thing in the world either. You can't get out of that. Okay, let's see. I got another one here. Well, the next thing we got to talk about is the why. The why is it? That's a big one. Okay, a little bit slow. The computer's slowing up on me today. Okay, why do you believe that? And why did you believe what you believe? Uh, and that's the thing. And this boils down into more than just the church. I'm talking about, why do you believe that? And we're talking about climate change, we're talking about religion, we're talking about government, we're talking, why do you believe the things you believe? How many people have you known out there that now believe in climate change? And we have to go all crazy wonky and get rid of gas powered cars and generators and stuff, because the world's gonna end, and or we have to believe in the church and God is gonna save us. And I see this one guy on there all the time that says, "Oh, don't worry, when it gets bad, Jesus is gonna come down and save us all."
Right. You've been saying that for 2,000 years, though. So you would think they would start getting a hint, uh, where do we believe that? I guess before we woke up, if it was on TV, it must be true. If they told us, the government or the teacher or your parents, your grandparents, because grandma told me, of course it's got to be true. Grandma would never lie, and that goes for
Right.
all of those things. And so that's why we just go along, because what else are we going to do? Until we wake up, and then now we can't. Now we don't trust anybody. So that's another flip of the coin. Now we don't trust anything. So
Yeah. Well, and that's so true. Um, Grandpa Brian, what programmed you? Why do you believe? Why do you believe what you believe? Did you read it? Did somebody program it into you, or did you the true belief? Did you feel it in your gut? Did you belong to a group? Uh, like here, the Soul Tribe. This is one of those things. When you find the group that believes what you believe, is that a good feeling?
Yes, it is. You got to think a lot, even before Jesus, it was agenda programming. The church, agenda programming. Government, agenda programming. Everything is about programming you to who they want you to be. It's just like my mom. She watches Fox News every single night and believes everything that they say. So, and I tried to make a bet with her that she could not watch Fox News one night, $100. And she said, "Well, I'm not going to make that bet." I said, "Because you're programmed to watch that every single night." And it's learned behavior because, you know, when I truly broke away from religion, I was actually kind of upset with my mom because I was there was a religion that was forced on me of not my choosing. But then once I thought about it for a while, then I learned it was all learned programming. It was her mom that taught her the religion. It was her mom's mom that taught her the religion. So the programming goes back many generations, and it just keeps going down the pipeline.
Well,
And
yeah,
now
and
I
yeah,
may have broke that cycle with my grandson just for the fact he's never been baptized, never been forced to go to church. If he decides one day he wants to follow religion, that is his choice. It was never forced upon him. So
yeah.
I'm
yeah, same
hoping with
here.
this,
Same here.
my grandson
Yeah.
breaking the cycle of forced religion.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Oh, and that's well, and that's the thing. It's the forced religion, but now we're into a new cycle, and the cycle is of what the government is trying to, because they realize that the churches aren't as powerful as they used to be. Christianity is going down the hill. I mean, people may call themselves Christian, but they don't read the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know anything about it.
Yep.
They barely know anything, and yet they say, "Oh yeah, I'm a believer," whatever, blah blah blah, and they couldn't tell you 3 sentences out of the Bible except Jesus is gonna save me. Now that ain't doing you any good. This is true, is it not? But but the thing is, the new religion is the computer, government. Government is programming you, like you said, CNN, Fox, they're all programming you. You'll sit
Mm-hmm.
there and listen to them, and your mind is shaped by what they put out, and
Yeah.
it's not only news, it's other things. It's all the TVs and the programs that you may watch. Little tidbits here and there shape
Mm-hmm.
your reality.
Absolutely. Yeah, they've had like 3 or 4 generations
Yep.
now programming us, and it's not like they didn't tell us. We just didn't clue in when they said programs. I didn't think of it. Like, okay, whatever. And it's right in your face. And that's what's so sad about it, that we were so duped for so long. But the
Well,
good
yeah.
news is that a lot of us are waking up now, though. So that's
Every
very good.
every time that comes up, I have a good friend that tells me, and he says, and it's kind of an inside joke, and dinosaurs lived 65 million years ago. and and it's like, yeah, when I was a kid, and I'm sure you did the same thing, every book you read, it said dinosaurs lived 65 million years ago. And they all died off one way or another. Either a meteor, or the world changed, or it was earthquakes and
It was
volcanoes
climate
or
change. Didn't you know?
climate. Yeah, exactly. Now it's climate change. Exactly. And we're going.
What happened to us?
Yeah. I just heard that one on the thing the other day. It says this has been the hottest year in 120,000 years, and I'm thinking,
Yeah, right.
who was keeping the temperature
No, they weren't.
120,000 years ago?
They only started in the 1800s or something. Yeah, no, we haven't
Yeah.
had that much
So
time.
where did
And to
that
be
come from?
honest, it's
Yeah.
been really mild here on the west coast of Canada. We haven't
Yeah.
had barely any heat at all.
Yeah.
So no,
Here
it's not.
here too. It's been really nice.
Yeah.
Grandpa Brian, you been getting the brunt of it. I guess down in the southern states, they've been getting it hot too. But
Mhm.
that's the thing, is every book you would look at said dinosaurs lived 65 million years ago. And then, like you said, Grandpa Brian, everybody and everyone has been taught that dinosaurs lived 65 million years ago. My grandma, my grandpa, my mom, my dad, and you go through the line, and you couldn't ask anybody out there, because they would all give you the same answer, because they were all programmed to say the same thing. And because
Correct.
what do you believe? And I had to stop and ask myself, are dinosaurs, did they live 65? And then I started looking around, and I realized that they might have not lived 65 million years ago. They might have still been around in some limited capacity, thousands of years ago, or hundreds and hundreds of years ago, or something like that, because they're carvings of dinosaurs. They didn't dig up bones and have anthropologists and building dinosaur bones and researching this. That's a new thing, and it makes you say, "Hey, why? Why do I believe that? So what do I believe?" And I had to do some research for myself and come up with my own hypothesis. And I had to go within me and I'm sure you did too for other things, and say, what does my gut tell me? Are they lying to me or not? And who am I to believe them? Just like Saturnian Sun says here, oil does not come from fossils. And for how long? Since I was a little kid, it said dinosaurs made the oil. And I work in the oil field, and I know darn tootin' well that there's no dinosaurs dying to make that oil. Trust me, there isn't.
Yeah, I know.
So,
That's another lie, right? There's so many
yeah,
lies.
but
Yeah.
what do you believe? If you go and ask somebody where oil comes from, they're going to tell you, well, it comes from dinosaurs. Look at the big dino on dinosaur on the logo of was it BDP or something like that? They have a big dinosaur logo. They came up with that thinking we were dumb, and they programmed it into our heads. The dinosaurs died, and their bodies sifted down into the ground thousands and thousands of feet into big giant pools of oil. And then now we could just tap down there and pump them up. Ain't that cool? Oh, and do you believe that? Really? Do you believe that? Okay, so Grandpa Brian, do you believe oil comes from dinosaurs?
No. Oil comes from, it's a byproduct of the fusion down in the Earth's core. They're starting to realize now that some of these wells that they've drained are starting to fill back up with oil. It's a renewable source. So why are we
Yeah.
paying so much money for it?
And why is this? Is because the companies who first discovered oil said, hey, if the peons out there realize this is an unending resource that renews itself over and over and over, we won't be able to charge a lot of money for it. So we're going to tell them some
Correct.
crazy story, and then they'll believe it. And that's all the propaganda we'll put out. We'll put out this propaganda, and then they'll believe it. And when they do, we'll charge a higher price because we'll say, well, there was only so many dinosaurs. Right?
Yep.
Yeah. If they were
Mhm.
smart, though, they would probably question, well, why even bother making all these cars that run on this if it's going to run out soon? That wouldn't be a very good investment, but nobody questioned that, I guess. Eh?
Yeah, because we don't question it. That's what I'm
Nope.
saying is,
Yeah.
who are we? We are like, drones, yes, dinosaurs are real. They lived 65 million years ago, and then they made oil, and now we pump it out, and eventually they'll run out, and then we won't know what to do. And here, Cowboy Boots says, I believe we are prisoners of the state. We owe us, and he can prove it. But anyway, and he might be right. But the point is that they made us prisoners by saying, oh, oil will run out. And if you don't do what we say and start going electric and start not driving and start conserving, that air conditioner running in your house could affect the whole planet. And really, that air conditioner is going to ruin the whole planet when a volcano on the other side of the earth went off and is now going to probably block out the sun and affect us for, years to come. Really? Even when they asked the guy in Congress, the guy says, well, humans only produce like 0.03% of the pollution. And I went, what? They didn't even know their own bull crap. They were thinking it was like 20 or 30 or 40%, and it was 0.03% of the pollution is caused by humans. So there you go.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, if you look back here in the, not that far in the distance here, like every decade they got some kind of scare, so, it's like, okay, when's enough is enough? None of it's come to pass. You
Yeah.
know, like, when are we going to wake up and say, "Hey, wait a minute now"? Like every decade there's something. So yeah, no. If
Yeah.
anything, it's actually getting cooler. We're going towards more of a mini ice age, actually. But these are all natural cycles, so that happened. That's the way she goes, you know.
Natural cycles, exactly.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Um, and with those natural cycles, we just don't have any like which I don't know which one of you said that they didn't even keep track of the climate until the 1800s. That is so
Yeah.
true.
Mm-hmm,
Uh, if they did, and now they're trying to fudge the numbers.
mm-hmm.
We know that climate. Who said? We all know there was an ice age, but they don't say what caused that ice age. It sure wasn't humans.
Mm-hmm.
We weren't producing stuff to make an ice age, and we sure must have haven't done anything to make the ice go away. So which is better? Would you rather have the ice age or a heat wave? I'm not sure. What do you think? Heat wave or ice age?
Oh, I'd rather have
Heat
the
wave.
cooler. You can always warm up, you know. But if it's too hot, it's not much you can do, you know.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Well, with heat, you wouldn't have to heat your house, but plants and stuff would grow better in the colder northern climates. And if it was an ice age, well, then everybody would have to move down south, and it would be really crowded. And of course, then the temperatures and weather patterns would all change again. I think there's no real good answer.
I think this
Uh,
is how it's been all along. We've always
yeah,
done that, you know. And yeah, there's probably a lot of die-offs, but that's kind of natural, you know, population control, you know, by doing that once in a while, right? So, and then we come back. We always seem to come back, though, you know. It's always somebody that survives and
Yep.
starts it all over again, and you know.
yep, yeah, exactly. And it the thing is, everything is changing. It's constantly changing. It'll keep changing. More and more and more, no matter what we do. The question is do we believe the guys that are in charge? And right
No,
now, Nina, you're up in
No.
Canada, and they're charging you carbon taxes for
yeah,
things.
I know.
I mean, they haven't really started doing carbon taxes here so much,
Oh, it's
but I'm
coming.
sure they will. It'll
Oh,
be
they
like,
will.
you
Yeah.
know,
Now,
uh,
Trudeau is like a front runner. He's the testing boy. You know, test it out in Canada and see how it goes, and then the rest of the world will follow shortly after. Don't you worry. You just look to us and see what's going on here, and that's coming at your neck of the woods sooner than later. So, you know, it won't be long now. We're going to get, taxed for the air that we breathe. And I think this whole carbon footprint thing, that's part of it. That's going to be
mhm.
a little bit further down the line, but that's where it's heading. You know, oh, I'm sorry, you've already used up your quota of oxygen for this month. See ya.
Yeah, you got to
Right?
pay You got to pay extra now.
Well, unless you're rich and you can pay. That's right. So as poor folks, well, I guess we're a goner, you know?
Yeah,
So,
remember there was that movie where the people had this
yeah,
time clock on their
yeah,
arm, and that gave them so much life, and
yeah,
and that's kind of the thing. It's going to be like, well, you ran out of carbon credits,
yeah.
so
That's
now
where it's
you got to work
going, right?
harder, and we can give you a loan that at some point we know you're not going to be able to pay it back, so we're just going to kill you off.
Yeah. And if you have a
Uh,
chip in you, who knows what's in that chip? There could
yeah,
be some kind of, destruct kind of command in there that they can just wipe you out. A little
yeah,
cyanide in there. Oh, I don't know. Yeah. So that's the thing. That's now. Don't take the chip, and that's coming around the corner. Everybody's talking about it lately. I've seen now.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that's the thing is, people. There was this movie Dragon Day where everybody was having to wear the little bracelets. I don't know if you've seen that movie or not, but it's a good one to check out. And the thing is, they were wearing the bracelet, and hey, you didn't do what you're supposed to do. That little bracelet will kill you dead right where you stand.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking, well, how far fetched is that? Um,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it really isn't. I mean, Grandpa Brian, what do you see in your area? Are what changes have you seen in the last few years that really bother you, or things on TV that are trying to program you that you said that's bullshit, that's crap. I can't go with that.
Definitely the climate change. I know there was a politician not too long ago that wanted to do away with cows because she said that the cow poo was producing too much methane gas and it was destroying the ozone layer. Uh, we have a big problem because we have elected stupid people into our government that is trying to make laws and pass stuff that they should have no business even trying to pass. It's stupidity.
Yeah, yeah, it is. And well, you're in Indiana, there's a lot of Amish people there. I don't know if you know any of them, and but what are they going to do? Hey, you got to get rid of your cows and horses because they fart too much.
Yep,
What do you think those people are going to say about that? Like, what? I got to get rid of my horses and cows because they fart too much? Well, what am I going to do for a living? I'm Amish. That's how we live.
exactly. And I do have a
Yeah.
lot of Amish actually around here by the cabin.
Oh, you do? Okay, cool. Do
Hmm.
you associate with them, or how are they being affected, or do you know any of that stuff, or could you share?
Uh, no, I know a few of them because I go to this little Amish store. It's the only store around here now because since the other one closed down.
Hmm.
Uh, I know most of them because there was the break between the Amish and the Mennonite, and now the Amish are moving more towards the Mennonite, where they are now owning cars and having electricity in their house, and they're progressing forward, but they still have that. I'm not sure if there's a belief difference in the Mennonite and Amish, just like there was a little bit of belief difference between the Essenes and the Hebrews, because the Essenes were a break off of the Hebrews. So I'm
Hmm.
not really sure what's going on there. I really don't get a chance to associate a lot with them because basically when I'm down here, I'm working and basically by myself.
Hmm.
But every once in a while, I get to run into them, and especially Richard, and I talk to him. But other than that, I see they're actually progressing more towards the technological side, where before, a lot of them didn't have running water in their house, they didn't have electricity in their house, they definitely didn't believe in cars because they always had their horse and buggies.
Yep, yep.
So
I know different
actually,
sects of the
they're
men are the Amish do different things, so that could be some of that.
yeah, that
Like
is true.
one, I know they got different rules. Like if I rent a house, I can't tear out the electricity, but if I buy a house, I have to tear the electricity out. And like they can get away with things like having lights on their wagons if they're under 18 or something stupid like that. And of course having wheels, metal wheels versus rubber wheels, and there might be laws, and these counties like to pass laws to force them to have bathrooms instead of outhouses. And
Yep.
to conduct business nowadays. I remember this one guy. He was a local trimmer. He did a bunch of stuff. He was in construction. He had a little construction business too. And he had, what you call it? He had a cell phone. He kind of hid, because he really wasn't supposed to have it. But he made the phone company put a payphone out in front of his house because he couldn't have a phone in his house, but he could have, I mean, he could use a phone, which is, like this loophole. Like I can use a phone, but I can't have it in my house. So if you put a pay phone out in front of my house, I could use that. So that's what they did. They put a pay phone out in front of his house. How crazy, huh? Just
That is
but
crazy.
he did have a cell phone eventually, but he didn't. He tried really hard not to let anybody know, who that he had it, because he would have gotten a lot of trouble. But you know, this day and age, if you're going to conduct business, you literally have to have technological stuff. Like he could own a he could he could own a truck, but he couldn't drive a truck. And so he hired a guy to drive him and his crew around. So this one guy, all he did was drive him and the crew of Amish guys around to roof houses and do kinds of work like that. I thought that was kind of interesting. But it's what do you believe? If you want to be in the Amish, you have to believe what they do, even if you don't believe it so much. I guess that's what it boils down to.
Yep.
So there you go. Um, anyway, Amish are neat individuals, and you gotta love them because they are hardworking people. Nina, do you have any Amish in Canada?
I don't know if the Amish, but I know my ex, their background was Mennonite. They came from back east and whatever. So yeah, there's quite a bit of that. But yeah, no, that's the way to go. And I'm trying to go backwards myself. My phone plan here is, I think I got one more payment. And of course, it's starting to crap out. So this would force me to have to get another phone. It's like this every 2 years, and I'm getting tired of it. I don't want this phone game no more. So I'm gonna go next month when it's finished here, and get me a flip phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back at the latest flip phone. I do believe they have cameras on them and stuff like that too. So I'll still have that, but I won't have any other social media and all the other bullshit on it. Because I mean, I got the computer. I don't feel I need it. I don't want it. I'm tired of it. And they force you basically to get a new one every 2 years because it's built in that it craps out just when your payments are done. I got some major issues, and it's like trying to use like if I was in an emergency situation, I can't get to my phone because all these ads pop up, and I can't get to where I need to go, and I can't use that stuff. Like it's just not safe.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna get rid of it. I'm just gonna keep the old phone if it still works, and I can use internet on it. It says, but my phone is a whole separate thing. Yeah, can't wait. Same with the cash thing. I'm getting rid of all credit cards. No more credit cards. Just going back to doing cash only for everything. I'm trying this whole CBDC thing, and yeah, I'm resisting it hard, big time. So I'm going back old school now.
Yes, that is so true. I mean, it's good to pay in cash,
Yeah.
but now the question is, you might be going back too late because they're going to maybe go to that digital money, and that'll force everybody to be digital. Have a card.
I got a computer here, so I don't do any banking on my phone anyways. I would always use my laptop, and I got a VPN and all kinds of things going on here. So I never use my phone for that anyways. Yeah, no, I don't trust the phone at all. No, it's too easy to hack into, and it's too small even. Like I just don't like working on it. But yeah, so even Facebook, I can just do that on my laptop here, right?
Yeah.
I don't have to have it on my phone.
Yeah.
I'm sitting in front of that stupid computer all the time anyway. So, yeah.
Yeah, that phone tracks you where you go.
It does. Yeah, I don't want it. I'm sure the flip phone does as well because it still has my chip in it, so it's still my number. It's, they can still track me, but at least I don't have all the social media bullshit and all the kinks and that. And I'm pretty sure that flip phone is going to last me a long time versus the stupid Androids here. They're, 2 years. That's it, max.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is so true. And that's the thing is, and I guess people are saying, yeah, the petrodollar is not worth anything. Saturnian Sun, Chloe, no dollars have value. That is so true. The thing is we are brainwashed into thinking it has value. Really, people, it's just a piece of paper. And we've been brainwashed that it means so much, and we trade our time, money, effort, our lives. We sacrifice our lives, our health for what? The almighty dollar that might be able to be traded for a new car, some taxes that we got to pay, or some payments for stuff that we don't want because we've been brainwashed into really believing that we need that new set of Nike shoes, or that new sweatshirt, or that logo on our coat that says, whatever it needs to say, of some brand of some company. uh, this is so, blows my mind. I mean, once you start thinking about what are you doing, what do you believe, and why do you want all that stuff?
And that's the thing, like they make it too easy, right? You just go on your phone, Google it. Oh, Amazon, boom, there it is, coming out your door the next day. So by doing the cash thing, now I actually have to think about it. I actually got to like walk to the store and, and actually look. And by that time, the impulse buying will be gone, So
Yeah.
if you have to actually go and look for it and hunt for it and try and do local shopping and all that stuff, the odds is that you probably not going to buy it as much as if you do it on your phone. And that's another reason to get rid of the fucking phone. It's just crazy how people are going into debt, because it all just goes on the credit card, and it's just way out of hand. Yeah, I can't wait to get rid of it all when it's all gone. It's going to be such a freeing kind of. It's like a weight off your shoulders,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Grandpa Brian, what do you have to say with that?
Good for you, Nina. It's kind of like almost trying to get off the grid, as I call it.
Yeah, it's kind of is in a digital sense. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You're not buying into that debtor society where you always got to be in debt because you want. Like majority of my clothes, I go to Goodwill and get my clothes. You can find good clothes at Goodwill.
I find too when you're actually holding the money. Yeah, when you're holding that money in your hand, you think about it, more so than just tapping. You don't think about it. But when you're actually going to hand over a $20 bill to somebody, I think I'm going to be more like you too. I'm like, do I want to spend that much money on a pair of pants, or do I rather just go on a Valley Village and spend although I'm pretty good at finding deals, I got to say, just go off season and stuff like that. But yeah, when you're actually paying in cash, you actually think about it more. It hurts more to hand it over than when you're just tapping it. I find there's no connection to the money when you're doing that. So that's another way of saving money.
Yeah, you're actually seeing the value of what you're trying to buy instead of just looking at a picture and say, "Oh, I want that. Here, let's click, click, click. Bam, I got it." You're actually able to see the value of what you're purchasing.
And when you see that money leaving your hand,
yeah.
Oh man, like I was talking to my buddy the other day, and I said, "Hey, when you go in there with cash, you spend it, and then you realize it's going out of your hand. You really think about it a lot more than just swiping that card." And
that's what I just said.
Yeah. And I know that's what you said, but I mean, I just had that conversation, and I said, people don't realize it. That's why I think they want everybody to go to the card. They want them to have that easy access, because people just say, "Hey, I'm going to buy that. That looks cool. I bought it." And you don't realize you just spent money. You're going to have to work 5 hours today to pay for that. And then you go, wow, I gave 5 hours of my life away for that item. Well, that wasn't that important. Now, was it?
No, but you know what? The stupid mentality that goes with that, it's like, oh no, I just have to pay the minimum payment. That's all.
That's right. That's right.
This is
for the next 30 years. The 30 years later, I finally paid off that $300 item.
And how much interest did you pay for that? It's what, 21% or something like that? Like 21%, people.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Yeah.
just insane. It is
Yeah.
insanity, and I just want off. I just want a simpler life, you know. I just want to go back to the way it was, in a way. I
Mhm.
mean, I still love my computer, no doubt about it, but
Yeah,
that's about it.
exactly. Musgrave Griffin says,
Well,
thumbs up, everyone. Yes, thank you for that. Okay.
Yes,
What?
make
yeah,
sure you
not only
subscribe
that,
and like all that stuff.
Go ahead.
yeah, not only that, a lot of businesses now, because the credit card companies are charging them fees for people using their credit card. Now they're starting to add those fees into your purchase of what you're purchasing. So
Mm.
you're even paying more on top, $3 to $5 more on that item than what you originally planned on spending on that item by using a credit card.
Exactly. And you don't
Yeah,
notice
and
They're
I
up.
don't know.
They're up.
Yeah, even us who are paying cash probably are still, because we're still paying the same price as everyone else. So,
Mhm. Yeah.
but yeah, no, I knew that that's
Yeah.
what they're doing. Of course, it's in factored into the price, you know. Same with sales. That's why they have the price, some ridiculous kind of price, so that way they can have a sale on, because otherwise they wouldn't make any money. You know, that's all factored in, you
Yeah.
know.
Mhm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
It's all in the pricing. Yeah,
but
they
I
got
do
it
know
going on.
there are some places where if you got cash, they won't charge you the tax. You know, like the
Mhm.
nail salons, they're notorious for that. They'll pocket that money there, no problem. Right? So you do actually save a little bit of money. So there's that, and you know, maybe ask, you know, especially like, you know, home business or small business like that, where they're able to do that, you know, say, hey, cash price, right? Let's go back to that, you know, let's keep that going. That's the thing. We don't want to lose that, people. Don't fall for this whole thing. Like, it's, you know, yeah, it takes another couple of seconds to actually count up the money or whatever versus the tap. And I remember that I was at the store, I think it was a liquor store, it was a while back, and I was doing the cash thing. And some dude in the back of the lineup, oh, I guess I picked the wrong lineup, because I was paying cash. They don't even have the patience for that anymore. You know, people like, it's like, oh my God. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, that is so true. That is so true. Well, we come to our end of our hour here, and we're going to wrap it up because tomorrow we got a big night with me and
That's
Nina
right.
for Horns of the Goddess. Join us there at what is it going to be, 8 o'clock Central Time and
For me, and 9 back east. Yeah.
9 back east. That's right. So anyway, remember tomorrow, Sin Day Live is going to be Horns of the Goddess with me and Nina. Please join us there. And Grandpa Brian, thank you for coming on tonight. I hope you can join us tomorrow night as we
Thank you for having me.
can listen in on the Horns of the Goddess. It's about the Druids and Dolores Cannon tapping into some ancient wisdom from way back when. So it's very interesting.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah. Got
Yes.
a lot of views on that. So a lot of people are interested in this. So that's cool.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
Dolores Cannon, all her stuff is just out of this world. You know, it's well worth listening to. If you believe it or not, you know, you just have to go in with an open mind and realize that, hey, you know, she's tapping into things. And as we can all tap into this stuff. We just don't know it yet.
Yeah, you know what I was gonna say, speaking of Dolores Cannon and whatnot, I have a Gilded, guys. You guys gotta go to my Gilded. I have a room there just for this. And I added, I think it was last week, some songs that I got for free that goes along with the book. So these are some songs that she channeled while she was under the hypnosis there. So it'll be interesting, especially for those of you that maybe are from there, or maybe are more the Gaelic and whatever. You guys might be able to pick up some things, because there are some words in the songs there that are very different from our language. So yeah, go to my Gilded, guys, and go check out, get some free songs that go along with the book that we're reading tomorrow. So yeah.
Absolutely. Like I said, we did a show on Druids last week or so, and that was pretty cool. And you know, there's a lot to think about the Druids. There wasn't much written about them. The Romans wrote a little bit about them, and there's been a lot of hearsay along the way, but they left a big mark, but they didn't write a lot down. So this is a good chance to, find out about the Druids. So with that, everybody, thank you for coming tonight. Please leave a thumbs up, share it, subscribe, whatever. Share it out to your friends. I want to try to get, my goal for this year is to get to 1,000, and I'm getting close. So please get out there, and I'm working hard at putting out videos. I got this new book, 369, and today we just did the first bit. It says, it's called Who Are You? And we'll be doing bits and pieces of it all week. There's going to be a bunch of short ones like imagination, states of consciousness, faith, rebirth, all of that good stuff that goes along with changing yourself into a better person, realizing who you are, what you're doing in this world, and why are you doing what you're doing, and who are you? Are you the person you want to be? And if you're not, boy, I tell you, make some changes, because you've gone through life too long to be somebody you're not. And there
Exactly.
you go.
That's what I'm doing. Making some changes, going back old school.
That's right. If old school fits you, go that way. Try it out. Don't say, well, I don't know if I want to or not. Try it. If it doesn't work, you could always go back.
That's right. That's right. It's trying to be resistant to what they're trying to do right now. And I think if everybody did that, like really push back like that, and going back to the flip phone and the cash, that's going to send a message that, hey, we don't want to be going down the route that they're doing right now. And, I think we've gone as far enough, I would say, as far as our privacy and everything else. But
that's right. Absolutely. Remember, I don't know if Max Vision has a show on now, but go over to Max Vision's channel and check him out. He's usually got a remote view class that at 10 o'clock starting, and that will improve your mind. I sure do enjoy going over there, even though sometimes I fall asleep while I'm doing it because it's late and I go to bed early. Anyway, but thank you all. Join us, me and Nina, tomorrow night. Thank you, Grandpa Brian, for coming on. And remember, everybody, go out, do something nice for somebody else and a little bit for yourself, because you really matter. Remember, be the frequency you want to receive, everyone. I love you all. Peace, everybody.